I start by telling you some very important and interesting canvassing data that came out yesterday. Did anybody see the Hartlepool Mail yesterday? They had a poll in there of who the people of Hartlepool wanted to be their next Prime Minister. Now I might need a bit of a hand with this, guys, so be ready. Do you think they wanted David Cameron to be the next Prime Minister? Do you think they wanted Ed Miliband to be the next Prime Minister? I can tell this is a very clued up audience, and I think you may know the answer to my next question. So are you ready for this? Who topped the poll for the next Prime Minister in Hartlepool? I'm glad you got that one right. That's right. We, the people of Hartlepool, chose the man who is here today, the leader of our party, and the best politician in Britain today, Nigel Farage. Now, after that bit of fun, I want to set out today some of the challenges that Hartlepool are facing and our solutions to them in UKIP. Let's first look at the current local situation, how things are going under this Labour and Tory council here in Hartlepool. The current regime in Hartlepool Council is an utter shambles. Look at what has happened under this leadership. Ian Wright with his silence on the Hartlepool Hospital situation. The Mayor has been sacked from his day job for gross misconduct, but yet continues to bury his head in the sand and says he carries on no matter how embarrassing it is for the local authority. The scrapping of the 1.5 million local plan that has left Hartlepool open to a planning free-for-all, which is a major threat to our green belt. The long-running residence scandal at Manor Residence. Labour councillors voting to increase their own allowances when everyone else is struggling. What planet are these people living on? The biggest single issue facing Hartlepool today is the Hartlepool Hospital situation. The problem is, the Wynyard Hospital will never happen. It is pie in the sky, and everyone knows it. The Health Trust is clearly out of touch with public opinion. The people don't want a new hospital. They want their existing hospital. The Wynyard Hospital project will not work on 3 levels. Number 1, the travel issues and costs for both the NHS and the people of Hartlepool are unacceptable. 2, the traffic on the A19 will make it extremely difficult for someone in a life or death situation to get to North Tees Hospital or James Cook Hospital in emergency. Frankly, the possibilities don't bear thinking about. Finally, it is the wish of the people of this town, and they must not be ignored, that they have their own hospital. Now I call on Alan Foster and the Health Trust to stop burying their heads in the sand, scrap the Wynyard project, and return to the people of Hartlepool a fully functioning hospital with all the services. Ian Wright has totally failed the people of Hartlepool by doing absolutely nothing in his 10 years as MP to stop the hospital being systematically downgraded. Ian Wright, Tony Blair, John Reid all promised the people of Hartlepool that the Hartlepool Hospital was safe, and that has proved to be a lie. And let us set the record clear today. It was the Labour Party that signed away the Hartlepool Hospital on December the 9th, 1999. And I want to thank Jean Kennedy, who's here today, for her tireless campaigning on this issue. The signing of these deeds was the starting point that led to the downgrading of Hartlepool Hospital. And let us now look at the Labour Party's record on the NHS. Guess what? It's not as good as they say it is. When Labour came to power in 1997, spending on NHS managers was less than £190 million. By 2010, this had increased by 450% to over £1 billion. Labour wasted £11 billion on a failed IT project. Labour lumbered the NHS with vast PFI repayments, 50 billion worth of loans, which which are costing the taxpayer 300 million in repayments. Labour started the privatisation of the NHS. They brought in 2006, the NHS Act that introduced competition into the NHS. Labour introduced competition into the NHS, the Competition Act of 1998, Enterprise Act 2002, Public Sector Procurement Regulations in 2006. So there you have it. Privatisation of the NHS started under Labour Prime Minister Tony Blair. Now the Labour Party are constantly saying that UKIP would privatise the NHS. That is a lie, and they don't. We will spend £3 billion more on the NHS. We will keep the NHS in public hands, funded by the state and free at the point of delivery. We will stop further PFI. We will scrap hospital car parking charges. We will replace Monitor and the Care Quality Commission with elected county boards that give local power to local people. We will introduce a mandatory health insurance for migrant workers, visitors, in order to stop health tourism. And let me say one last thing on Labour and the NHS. Labour aren't the party of the NHS. They don't care about the NHS. They want to use the NHS as a political weapon. Ed Miliband has said, and I quote, he wants to weaponise the NHS. Think about that word, weaponise. It means to adapt in such a way that it can be used as a weapon. Our NHS isn't a weapon, it's one of our greatest institutions that looks after our people when they are most need. And the Labour Party should be ashamed of using such appalling language about our health service. We are not against immigration. We want controlled immigration. And we will bring in an Australian-style points-based system that does indeed control immigration. And let's be clear, the choice at the 2015 general election here in Hartlepool is between 5 more years of failure with Labour's Ian Wright or change with me, Phillip Broughton of UKIP. Let's be clear what we're fighting for in this campaign. We in UKIP are standing up for hard-working people, ignored and left behind by the Westminster elite. We are fighting for common sense policies, protecting our NHS, controlled immigration, tougher policies on law and order, giving planning power to people, and a fair economy with no tax on the minimum wage. I say to the people of Hartlepool, choose hope over fear. If you want change, come and back me and back UKIP in this election. We are fighting for a better Hartlepool, a stronger North East, and a fairer Britain. Thank you.